guys, it's Sheila Shimmers. Welcome back to my channel. So today is a very exciting video because we're going to be going through a drugstore brand, and this is actually one of my favorite drugstore brands. I feel like LA Girl has so many amazing products that I use on a daily basis, and I'm super excited that I came across these. Their summer collection is their limited edition, and we're going to get into the stuff that I got, but before we start, don't forget to subscribe below, like this video, and let's just go ahead and get started. I had actually already filmed this intro, but when I went to edit my video, I realized that I was missing the first clip. I don't know how it happened, but my intro was gone, so here I am filming it again, and I'm going to be reviewing these palettes. These are the Summer Limited Edition Bright Beam Babe Highlighter and Bronzer palettes, and then I also got the Haute Haute eyeshadow palettes. So these are from LA Girl Cosmetics, like, you know, it's obvious. And you can purchase these at the LA Girl website, and they're also limited edition to CVS as well. So on their website, I saw that they were $18 each, but I did find these at CVS for $15.49, I believe, each. So we're going to go over each one of them. I did end up using just this one today for the eyeshadow, and then I did use the highlighter and bronzer. But the first one that I got is this one. They're both called Haute Haute palettes. So you got this one that is a pink one. It does tell you the shades on the background, but this one is more of like a wearable one, I would say. It does have some pink and purples, and they're also very it's also very neutral. It does have this gigantic mirror right here, which I really like, and the packaging is kind of like a glassy clear material on the front. I also really like their theme. I feel like this theme with like leaves, palms, and just, you know, trees overall, I think it's really, really cute. So these two are the eyeshadow ones. I have the blue one over here and the pink one over here. They do not have a name to kind of define or differentiate them. It's just like, you know, the pink and the blue. So this one I think I'm going to be using for another video, just because I feel like this one is more of an everyday, and I definitely want to try this one for work and just on a regular basis. But the reason I actually got these palettes was because I saw this one. I opened it and I saw this blues over here, and I was like, I need to get that. So this one is the blue one, and I really, really like the packaging on the outside as well. And when you open it up, this is how pretty and stunning it looks. So this is the one I'm going to be using today. I feel like the other one I'm just going to upload a separate video for it, maybe using some new products and incorporating that. But I really, really love this one. I feel like the shades, you know, are very, you can also wear these throughout the day, but you can also make them a night wear or something really, really bright for like a summer party or something like that. They do say the names on the back, and they also have a little slit that has the names. I did take it off just because, you know, I just wanted to use it and it was just easier. One is the Bright Beam Babe Highlighter and Bronzer Palette. They do have two of these ones. I took the lightest shade. They also don't say that in the back as well. It's just like the pink and the blue. So you just know that the blue one is the lightest, and then the pink one is the medium to deep. So this one brings two contour shades. One is kind of like a warm tone, and one is kind of like a darker, just to define your cheeks. And it also brings 4 highlighters. I do want to swatch these for you guys because I feel like this white one just looks very, very just straight up white, actually. So I'm just going to put them on the back of my hand. The white one does have a different consistency than the other ones. The other ones are very creamy, but the white one is kind of chunky. And I don't know if I love that. It's very, very pigmented. I don't know how this would look on someone with fair skin, because I feel like this one would probably look really white on me, but as far as the other ones, I feel like they fit my skin pretty well, and I'm more on like the medium side of the spectrum. They do say the names on the back, so I'm just going to read them for you guys. This one is the Iridescent Light. This one right here is a Floral Jungle, which I feel like it's really pretty. It's kind of like a pinkish, and it has like a tint of a rose gold, I would say. And this one is High Tides, which I did use today. And then this one is the last one, which is Coastal. It's more of a peachy tone. So I really think that this one, it's really cute. You do have, you know, it's really easy to travel with this one. You kind of have 4 highlighters that you can choose from. They're also different from each other, and I really, really like that as well. Alright, so now we can get back into the video that I originally filmed, and sorry for looking like this. So as you can see, I already did one eye. I'm just going to move on to doing the other one. I'm going to be taking this shade first. This one is called Luau, and I really love how they kept that whole Hawaiian theme. Also, I feel like this palette, especially this side right here, reminds me a lot of like a mermaid, and I feel like this side is definitely very wearable and like for everydays. I feel like I don't have another brown shimmer shade like this one, and this one definitely felt like a pressed glitter, so I really like that. I feel like it applied beautifully. If you want to use a glitter glue, I would definitely recommend it because it did kick up a lot, and it's definitely not something that is going to stick to your brush very easily, so I would definitely recommend going ahead and using a glue. But for the other ones, I do feel like they were shimmers, they were very buttery, and they applied really seamlessly, so I really enjoyed that. So like I said, I'm going to be going in with Luau, and as soon as I find my brush over here, I'm going to be taking this shade. This one is a shimmer shade, so I definitely want to swirl it a couple of times just to make sure that it's going to apply nicely on my crease. And I'm going to be using this as a transition, so I'm just kind of packing this up on my crease like that. And then making sure that that color definitely builds up very nice. Once I have done that and packed my shadow, I'm just going to be going in with just a empty brush, and I'm just going to be buffing and kind of blending this in. Next shade I'm going to be taking is this dark purple right here. This one is called Orchid. I'm going to be putting this right on my crease and just kind of blend it in. Just wanted to darken that purple a little bit more. The only thing I do feel like I'm missing from this palette is kind of like a matte purple, because I don't like how they made this both shimmer and they're both so close to each other. I feel like if they would have made at least a dark one matte, it just would have made a lot more sense to me, because I did find myself wanting to use a matte purple. Alright, so next shade I'm going to be going into is going to be this one right here. And like you see, there's shadow everywhere in here. This one is called Romance. And this one is very pigmented, so you do have to be careful. I feel like I'm going to probably go overboard with this one. Maybe I'll take the first, I'll just take the Sigma brush that I was using to pack it up. And I'm just going to be putting this on my crease. And kind of creating that halo effect. So I'm going to be putting it in the outer corner, packing it right there, and then moving slowly towards my inner corner. I'm going back into my blending brush, and I'm just taking that Luau, I feel like it's called, yep, Luau shade, and I'm just going to blend this all in. Definitely want to go back into Romance and just darken this outer corner right here, and kind of go in again towards the inner corner. Next, I'm going to be cutting my halo, so I'm just going to be using this P. Louise base. You can use any concealer that you have at home. I was originally going to use the LA Girl that I have right here, but I feel like creamy beige is just very dark for me, so I'm just going to be using this one. I'm going to go back into the Romance shade right here, and I'm going to be applying this on the outer corner, just packing that in. And then on the inner corner as well. Going into the glitter shade that I mentioned, this one is called Maui. Very fitting name, I feel like. And I'm going to be placing this over top that concealer. And here's where you can see that it definitely applies okay over concealer, but I would definitely recommend it a little bit more over, you know, glitter glue. Once it sets, it definitely does not go anywhere, but you are going to get a little bit of kickback onto your face. So if I had done my makeup on my face right now, it'd probably be getting ruined. I'm going to be going back into Romance with just this blending brush, and I'm going to be darkening this up and kind of moving in towards my inner corner as well. I'm moving on to my face makeup, and I'm going to be using this LA Girls Pro Matte foundations. I have been loving these. I actually originally purchased the light tan and didn't try it for a while, and then I uploaded a video, and once I tried it, I was like, I have to go back and get kind of like more of a shade that would fit me. So I got medium beige, and I feel like mixing this two would just give me my perfect shade. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm this with this Tarte foundation brush, and I really like this one. I'm more of like a beauty sponge girl, but I have really enjoyed it. I have been enjoying just using this brush. I feel like it makes everything smooth and just look pretty. So I'm going to be buffing this in a couple of areas. I don't know if I apply it enough, but we'll get more as we need to. I do feel like this foundation is very matte and wearable, and I feel like it is also very buildable as well. It does last a long time, and I feel like as far as shades, you definitely have to work with it, but it's so inexpensive that, you know, that's not really something too bad. So you can see that this brush definitely applies everything very nicely. I was kind of surprised when I got it, but I feel like it was worth it. I feel like that's pretty good. I'm going to try and see the shade of this creamy beige concealer one more time just over some of this pimples and stuff, because I do want to see how light it is. I just feel like it's so orange that I feel like it's going to make me look like a clown. I don't know. I also did forget I wanted to use these correctors. I had the orange one for under my eyes and this green one for my redness, but per usual, I completely forgot. I think I'm just going to blend this in with a sponge. I actually don't think that looks so bad. I wish I would have color corrected, but I don't hate it. That combination of foundation and concealer definitely looks really pretty right now. I would also definitely recommend this concealer and the color correctors that I mentioned, because I think they're retails for like $5.99 or something like that, and they do work. I'm not going to apply any more concealer. I'm just going to be setting this. I'm using this LA Girl powder in the shade Banana, and I feel like this one is not one of my favorites, but it is okay. I feel like it's just really thick for my liking. I usually like very fine milled powder. As far as how it works, I do feel like it works. It doesn't make anything worse. It's just like, I don't know. I have so many other powders that I like more than this one, so I feel like that's why I don't use it as often. But I definitely have it with me, and I don't usually keep things that I don't like, so that's a good sign. I do feel like it looks better with this foundation than any other foundation that I have tried it with. So now we're moving on to the contour palette, and this one is the Bright Beam palette in the shade Light. I'm going to be going into this shade right here, which is Warm Sand, and I'm just going to be warming my face up with that one. I'm taking this Sigma F40 brush. Really pigmented from the get-go, but I kind of really like that shade. I feel like that's a really good match. I don't know why I thought it was going to be like closer to my skin tone, but I really like how this is looking. It's also really easy to blend. Kind of really impressed right now. Alright, so I'm going to be taking this shade right here, and I have the impression that it's going to be very pigmented, so I just pressed on it once. And yes, woo! I'm only going to be putting them on my cheekbones, and I'm hoping this is going to blend out more. Because holy pigmentation. I don't really like my bronzers to be that pigmented, just because I would rather build it up than, you know, trying to fix it like I am now. But I definitely did not feel like I needed to apply this one. This one is the shade Summer Heat. I would have just kept it with just Warm Sand, but it's not looking too bad. I kind of like how it's looking. I'm applying now some blushes, and then I'll go back to that palette for the highlighters. So I'm going to be applying, I think, either this one, these are both from LA Girl. They're just blushing blushes, and I have the shades Just Natural and Just Playful. And I feel like I want to go for Just Playful. Oops. I feel like I'm gonna go for Just Playful just because my look is very dramatic today. So I definitely want to use something darker. And these blushes are so pigmented. I don't know why people don't pay more attention to LA Girl, because, including myself, I feel like every time I use it, I'm like blown away with the quality. As far as highlighters, I feel like I want to go with either Coastal or Floral Jungle, but I don't know. I feel like Floral Jungle may be too pinkish for what I'm doing today, so maybe I'll stick to, I don't know, this one looks really pretty as well. Yeah, let's go with High Tights today, just because I feel like I don't want to, you know, do something too aggressive or too far from what I have in my eyes, because it's very, you know, out there. So I'm going to go in with this one. Oh my gosh. I don't have any Fix Plus on my brush or anything. I'm using this one from Anastasia. I think it's the A23. Yep, A23. And look at this highlight. I'm low-key really happy that I have this palette right now, because it would be so good for like the summer to just travel with. I do feel like, even though this is the lightest shade, I do feel like this is more for light to medium, not really fair to light, because these shades in here are just, I don't know. I mean, you saw how they look on me, and I am more of like a medium. So I don't know if someone lighter than me would enjoy this. So I'm really loving this look so far. I feel like this eyeshadow is really going to come together once I do under my eyes, but this is looking really good. They kept it very similar on, you know, the color range, and I do really like that. I also feel like, if I remember correctly, the darkest one from the contour and highlight was very close to the other Heat palette, which was more on like the pinkish side. So I'm going to be doing under my eyes. I'm going to go back into this palette right here. And I think that I want to keep it more on like the purple side. So I'm going to be using this one, which was Luau. I'm going to be really careful because this one is a shimmer shade. So I definitely don't want anything going into my eyes. I'm going to be taking just a little bit off this one, Romance, and I'm just going to be darkening up kind of the same thing I did on the top. Kind of making like a little halo. I'm going to be taking just a tiny bit of this glitter and hoping that it actually applies underneath my eyes. Right in the center. I'm going back into the Bright Beam Babe palette, and I'm going to be putting some highlight on my brow bone because I did forget to do that. So I'm going to be taking the same one that I used, and I feel like this may be a little too dark, so I'm going to mix it with the iridescent. Oh yeah, I feel like this is a really cool holographic highlight because it looks really cool right here. And I'm going to be putting some in the inner corner as well. So to scratch the coastal, I'm just going to be using the iridescent. I'm just going to be moving to lipstick, and I don't think I'm going to do something too crazy, but I will take off kind of that foundation that I had. I do not have an LA Girl lipstick, at least that I know of. I was kind of looking through all my lipsticks and I didn't find one, so I think I'm just going to be doing kind of like a, you know, gloss, and this one is from Revlon and is in the shade 205 Snow Pink, and I kind of got this from a Jeffree Star video a long time ago. He said he loved this, and I can see why. This looks really pretty. So I feel like the last step is lashes, and I'm going to be doing that off camera, and then I'll come back to give you guys my final thoughts. Alright guys, so I have my full face done. I feel like I have a really good sense of how I feel about those products now that I have used them. I did end up going in and putting this lipstick from NYX. This one is a soft matte lip cream, and this one is in the shade London. I just put it over top that gloss that I have, and I feel like it's a really good combo, especially because it doesn't interrupt what's going on in the eyes. So far I feel like LA Girl really impressed me, especially with this one. Like I said before, I use their LA Girl Pro Matte Foundation almost every day, and I feel like using that with the powder that I use today, I kind of hadn't used that powder in a long time, and I feel like I really like the end result. I was also really impressed about the concealer. That is something I definitely want to use more in the future, because I didn't think I even had an LA concealer. I just thought that I had lost it, and I guess this one just appeared out of nowhere. But going into this palette, I also have this one over here. I feel like if you see these, just grab them. Like, honestly, just go ahead and grab them. They're so good. I can't speak for this one because obviously I didn't use it, but I feel like this one, if it has the same formula as the other ones that I use, I feel like it can be a really good everyday palette if you're into those pinky, purpley, kind of orangey shades. I also feel like this one looks more of a fall palette in my opinion, but I really like this shades. This one are the shades that I gravitate towards the most on a regular, just on a regular basis. So I'm really excited about using this one. I feel like I'm going to be uploading another video just using this one by itself because I really like it. Also, I really love the packaging that it comes on the outside, and I feel like $15 or $18, whichever it is, wherever you find it, I feel like it's a very good price point for 16 shadows of this quality and just how good they are. Going into the one that I actually used, first I want to talk about the packaging. I love the fact that they put such a big mirror, because I feel like this is something that you can use to actually do your makeup at home or if you're traveling or anything like that. I also really appreciated when I was putting my eyelashes on, because this was definitely much easier with this little mirror over here. It does have that closing where it clips right here. Shades on the inside, I really love just their range that they gave us. They gave us this brown over here, they gave us this black, and I feel like I really like that they gave us this silver shimmer and this brown shimmer, which is something that I would probably use more now that I have it, because I don't think I had that in my collection, at least this brown shimmer over here. I really love how they gave us kind of like a daytime and very bright colors for the summer, but you also have your kind of like nighttime over here. You can separate this palette kind of different ways, because neutrals, you kind of have your neutrals, and then you kind of have your more aggressive, darker shades, but here you kind of have your daytime, and here you kind of have your nights. However you want to play around with this palette, I feel like it's a really good palette overall. I really enjoy using this glitter shade right here. The name of that, it's Maui. I feel like that was stunning. This one was definitely very pigmented. I was so surprised with how pigmented it was. I definitely had to go in with a light hand and just make sure that I didn't apply it everywhere, otherwise my eyes would have looked a lot worse. I really enjoy using this shimmer series over here, and I feel like they applied really well how I use them. I didn't use them as shimmers, I just blended them out on my crease, and I really like that. I definitely want to play around more with this palette, but I do feel like they're worth the price. And I do want to talk about the highlight and contour one. Not contour, it's bronzer. I did purchase the lightest, and I really enjoyed this one. I feel like if you see this one, this is probably something that I like even more than the eyeshadows, because I do enjoy face makeup overall. I feel like if your face looks flawless, it doesn't even matter what you have in your eyes. Sometimes, there's a balance of like having really pretty eyeshadow, but if your face looks like shit, then you will look like shit anyways. So I really enjoyed how this one applied on my skin. I feel like it just warmed it up really nicely. It applied beautifully over the LA Girl foundation, and it just blended out so easily. It was like effortless. So I really enjoyed that one. I feel like this one is just too pigmented for my liking, but I will continue to use this maybe with a smaller brush just to define my cheeks right here. And I do really like how everything looked and how everything looks on camera. It's not too warm. It is definitely on the warmer side, but it's not too warm. I feel like this one is definitely more of a warm tone. So if you're more of like the fair, pinky, pinkish undertones, just stay away from this palette. I would definitely not recommend it. You can definitely try it out if you want to, but I don't think that this is going to look too good on you. Maybe this one would be a good one for you, but I still feel like it's too warm if you don't have that kind of like golden yellowish undertone. As far as highlighters, I really enjoy using this one, the Haute Haute. I feel like it applied so beautifully. It was so pigmented, and it's a really natural kind of, I wouldn't say natural, it's a really pretty goldish highlight. I definitely want to see how this one looks, because this one looks more of a peachy tone, and this floral one definitely looks really pretty. This one looked very dark in my hand, so I'm really curious to see how this would apply over my skin. And this one I would definitely probably not put it on my cheekbones, but I really like how it looked as a brow bone and an inner corner bone highlight. So overall, I really enjoy using this palette. I feel like it's worth every penny. Both of them is something that I really recommend, and actually all the products that I used in this video today from LA Girl is something that I really swear by and recommend. The only one that I said that I really didn't like was the powder, but I feel like I'm gonna find my way using that more often, just because I use that foundation so often, and I really like how it looked together. Like, everything on my skin looks really good. I really ended up liking this look. It kind of looks like a mermaid look, and I really like it. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful, and please let me know below if you're purchasing these palettes, if you have them already, what you think about them, and just please don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you on the next one. Bye!